The 2024 season has long been over, and the 2025 season gets closer each and every day. But just because the Detroit Lions season didn't end where we all wish it did, doesn't mean that there weren't memorable moments. The Lions had a franchise record 15 wins last year, which is something we honestly may never see again. So even though the season ended leaving a sour taste in Lions fans' mouths, I still think it's important that we remember the 2024 season for being the best regular season in franchise history. And that's going to be what this series is all about. We're going to look back at the season that was to remember some of the best moments that the Lions had. Whether it was a jaw-dropping highlight, a crazy comeback, or a dominant drive, the moments that made up the 2024 season are worth revisiting. So join me as we count down the top 10 moments of the 2024 season for the Detroit Lions. Welcome back to the penultimate edition or installment of our top 10 moments of the 2024 Lions season. Yes, we are almost done this series, almost done this list. Training camp is now underway. Football is basically back. Now, we've had a lot of great moments so far on this list, great moments that are plays that are game-winning plays or set up game-winning plays. We've looked at big drives, we've looked at entire games that mean a lot. But today, we are going to be going back to just more entertainment value, as today's moment is just pure fun. And for that, we have to travel back for a cold and windy game in the Windy City in Week 16. Now, at this point in the season, the Lions coming off a loss to the Buffalo Bills, a loss that, while not necessarily unexpected given the state of the defense at this point in the season, it did snap the franchise record longest win streak. So, the vibes were dampened just a little bit. And, coming into this game, the goal was clear. The Lions are chasing the 1 seed in the NFC. And in order to do that, you probably can't lose another game. So going into Chicago, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to take care of business against a Bears team that had just completely fallen off the rails by this point. A few weeks ago, we examined a different Lions and Bears game, that of Thanksgiving. And in that Thanksgiving matchup, the Lions utterly dominated the first half before the Bears started to claw back into it. And I'm happy to report that a few weeks later in this game, the Lions mostly dominated the first half once again. The Bears started the game with the ball, but they quickly went 3 and out. The Lions get the ball and they go on a nice long drive, but that drive stalls out in the red zone, but they are able to kick an easy field goal and go up 3-0 to start the game. And then seemingly for no reason, Bears rookie wideout Rome Odunze decided that he was going to completely change the course of the game. The only problem, or I guess the good thing with that, is it was really beneficial to the Lions. The first instance of this help came on a play where the Bears are running a fake jet sweep. Odunze is in motion, and the idea is Caleb Williams is going to fake the handoff and give it to the running back, and instead, there's a miscommunication, and Odunze just completely knocks the ball away from Caleb, and Josh Paschal just thanks the Bears for the gift, falls on it, and the Lions take over. From there, you got a nice little screen pass. Jahmyr Gibbs shows off some patience on a 20-plus yard gain, and a couple more Gibbs runs later, he's into the end zone, and the Lions take a 10-0 lead. And then the Bears get back on the field on offense, and Odunze, whether or not that play was entirely his fault, that's pretty subjective, it's up to you, but he was partly responsible at bare minimum, so he wants to atone for his mistakes, so he gets the ball, he has a nice 19-yard reception, and he fumbles. Yeah, this one's entirely on him at this point. He fumbles again, Lions recover again, another turnover, and suddenly, this is looking pretty good. The Lions would add points off of a turnover yet again. Granted, again, just a field goal, but they go up 13-0. And while we're feeling good, it is starting to feel a bit like Thanksgiving, where the Lions are playing very well. They're creating turnovers, they're getting down the field, but they just aren't finishing drives at the level you were hoping for. And boy, that changed in a hurry. The Lions offense would get back on the field following another stop deep in their own territory. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs, first down run, he goes for 11 yards. And then the second play of the drive, Jared Goff, there's this reputation around him, right? That he can't play in cold weather games. It's just not for him. He's had some iffy performances in the cold before. He's had, think back to 2022 week 18 in Green Bay where he had some very nice throws. He also had some throws where he maybe couldn't get as much on the ball. I don't know. It's a narrative. Is it a real thing? I don't know. But in this game, Jared Goff decided that he was done with those narratives. He wanted to prove all of the doubters wrong, and he uncorked an absolute bomb to Jameson Williams. 82 yards, touchdown. It's 20-0. The Bears did answer with a couple touchdown drives of their own, with the Lions getting another one in between those two. So we go into halftime. It's 27-14. Lions get the ball to start the third quarter. We're feeling good. But the feeling going into the second half was, okay, you're in a good spot, but you need one more score to really put the game, like a 3-score lead. That's when it's like, okay, we're feeling good. You can shut this down, kill the rest of the time. It's all right. 13 points, it's like, okay, they can still come back. But 3 scores, that's when you start to feel really good. So to start the second half, Ben Johnson reached into his bag, and he came up with today's moment. So if you've watched the quarterback documentary on Netflix that recently released, you will know how this played out throughout the week. But this moment starts in week 1 of 2023 in a game that doesn't even feature the Lions. It was the Bears and Packers, and there was a play in that game where Jordan Love dropped the ball off the snap. He fumbled the snap, picks it back up, and he finds a receiver downfield wide open for a touchdown. And, a year and a bit goes by. Ben Johnson's reviewing game footage, and he finds that play, and he thinks, something's there. He got an idea from that play, and he went to Jared Goff, and he said, hey, what if we fumbled on purpose? Now, that idea quickly got shut down because there's just too many risks involved with dropping the ball on purpose or putting the ball on the ground. Like, you don't want to give up control of the football willingly, so that part got scrapped. But the idea of causing chaos from an apparent fumble or the appearance of a fumble, that stuck. And the Lions, they got in the lab in practice. It starts with Jared Goff faking a stumble off the snap. And okay, he's fallen over himself. It's just not quite right though. So the next phase of it is, hey, you know what? We're going to get the defense. We're going to have the running back also fall down. We're going to have Jahmyr Gibbs dive down on this play. So 2 guys are falling down. That'll create the chaos. But again, it just wasn't quite there. So there was one more phase to it. They have the entire offensive line yell out fumble. And thus the play was complete, ready to be unleashed. So fast forwarding back to this game, the Lions looking to put an exclamation mark on this game, go up 3 scores, and really put the game out of reach. And the call comes through the headset. Stumblebum.
Jared takes, stumbles coming out of there, wants to throw, does downfield, got a man wide open. Sam Laporta, touchdown Detroit Lions.
I think he did that on purpose. I think Jared Goff did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Wow.
He deserves an Oscar along with the fact that was his 33rd passing touchdown.
You could hear some guys, even through the refs, mic yelling fumble, fumble.
I gotta be honest, man. One of the most creative plays I have ever seen. It honestly is up there in terms of just creativity with plays like the original Philly special, honestly. Like, obviously that play has more significance because it was in a Super Bowl and it was a big play, but in terms of just pure creativity, one of the most creative plays I've ever seen. I am going to seriously miss having such a lovable nerd as the offensive coordinator of this team. Lions go up 34-14, Bears out a field goal. The game, the rest of the second half basically doesn't matter. Game ends 34-17. Lions win. They complete the season sweep of the Bears. They get back in the win column, and everyone is just feeling fantastic. So that's going to do it for today's moment. If you enjoyed it, then remember to hit that like button. And if you loved it, consider hitting the subscribe button as well. I'll be back over the weekend with a recap of the first week of Lions training camp. There's been a lot to talk about so far, a lot of intensity breaking out at practices, people getting kicked out, Dan Campbell stopping practices, all that. So I'll be back this weekend to recap the first week of training camp practices. And then next week, we are on to the final moment in this series. So stay tuned for that. And until next time, my friends, cheers.